Alright, welcome back everybody. We are here at the mines. Things are starting to heat up. But, thankfully, this is a bit of an easier track. For the most part. Okay, so right now I'm just going to boost right here. This is a big long straightaway. Nothing can really go wrong here. If weapons were turned on, this is where you'd use the weapons on someone. Now, right here are some humps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up on these humps. And on this hump here, I'm going to flick the stick back down. And if you land on this, back on this road with a speed of 200 or more, then you're good to go. But if you don't flick the stick like that, then you can end up going slower here. And that is not what you want. I'm holding up right here too, because you can catch a lot of air. We're just going to go this way. And now for right here, this is the big time corkscrew. This is iconic. This is the biggest corkscrew in the game. And what I'm going to do is head straight over to this wall. And so right now, I'm just holding more of an upward angle here. More of an upward angle. And you can decide to use the R button if you want to, or not. You'll speed up anyway if your angle is good enough, if it's high enough. So, ideally, you want to reach a speed of about 400 or more on this wall. And if you can do that, then you're in good shape. You can even go a little faster. If you can get up to a speed of about 420 or even 430, then you're golden. But if you get a speed of 400, that's good. So, we're going to go through here. I decided to get off the wall right at the very end. Steer through here. Now I'm holding up for dear life because I'm going really fast. And there's these two rocks right here. And you can hit either one of them if you're not careful. So I'm decided to be straight as I can. And now I'm going to slam onto this wall here, because grinding this wall doesn't really slow you down that much. If you do it right, then you can speed up a little bit more than just being on the road. So I'm just going to be on this wall. Now, this ending section is really tricky. It's really bumpy. A lot can go wrong. But what I've done here is I've gotten off the wall just before the road dips back down. And so what that does is I've got this good angle to land on the road where it's still kind of downhill. And so I've landed here with a speed of over 200. The speed at which you land on this road is pretty important. You'll end up seeing it a lot. And so what I did was, you can see that if you go fast enough, let's take that back a second. Let's watch that again. Hold up, I'm on the wall. I'm getting off the wall before the road kind of ends, before it dips back down. Got the good angle. Landed at a good angle here. And then you catch some air, which is actually good, because if you do that, you can land back on where the road dips down again. And if you can do that, then you can end the lap with a pretty fast speed. And so you don't really end up slowing down that much. And so if you finish the lap with a speed of about 200 or more, that's about the usual, you're in good shape. If you finish the lap with a speed of 210 or 220, you know you're going pretty fast. You know you had a good ending there. So let's go through it. A 41 is really good, by the way. If you get a 42, don't worry about it. Just shake it off. Just shake it off. We're going to keep going through here. Just holding up and going through here. Hold up. Flick the joystick back down. Keep holding up because you don't want to catch too much air. We're going to go through here again. And this time I'm using the R button so you can lean into the wall more. And if you lean into the wall and have a good angle, you may end up speeding up more. So that's how you get speeds of like 420 or 430, is by using that R button, a really good angle on that stick. You don't want to be too low with it. You want to go up with it. We get off. If you don't get off of that wall in time, you're going to end up catching a lot of air and kind of go through there, which isn't really bad, but it does kind of slow you down a little bit. So just be wary of that. I'm going to go through here again. Thread the needle. I kind of got really close there, actually. I'm going to bang on the wall again. You don't have to do this. You can just go on the road if you want to. But you won't get a speed of like that if you do that. Tried to get off the wall. I guess I was a little later than last time. And so that was a little bit of a slower landing than the last time, but it's still not too bad. It's still not too bad. And so that's still a pretty decent ending there. And if you get a 38, that's insane. If you manage to get a 39 on laps 2 and 3, then you're in great shape. You're in great shape. We're just going to finish this off. Just boost right here. It's real straight. You can't really mess this up. Go through here. Holding up, flick back down. Get a speed of about 200 or more. Keep holding up. Turn. Let's watch this one more time. So my stick is up. You can see me kind of adjusting it a little bit. You can hold the R button or you can decide not to. I've been able to go pretty fast without the R button, but it's just reliable that way. See, I'm going stupid fast right now. Get off the wall in time. You don't want to grind on that wall. Kind of got goofy and hit the wall there. See, your bike can do so many strange things in that little area. So many strange things that can really mess you up if you're not careful. But this time I was lucky. I landed good. A little slower than usual, but I just like going on this wall because that's a habit of mine. And that was a kind of a more usual landing, kind of a more usual speed when you land there. But anyway, that is going to finish it off with a 39. And that is a 205. A 205 is really good. If you manage to get a 206 or even a 208, it's alright. You just go on to the next one. Or if you're practicing time trials, you just keep on going. Now, have you ever wondered why I keep saying to hold up all the time? Just keep holding up on the joystick. Let me show you what happens if you don't do that. Let's see what happens if you don't hold up and you're just lazy or forget to. I'm actually going to frame by frame this one. So, if you're neutral on a joystick, you're just going to catch a lot of air and land slow. See, usually I was landing at a speed of about 270, but that's what happens if you don't hold up. Oh, and this part here, I've got neutral on the joystick, slow down again. That is not what you want to happen. This is why you always hold up. This is why you want to stay grounded. And you can even catch a little bit too much air on this section too. And that is just not ideal. So that's why you keep holding up. And now, before we leave, let's look at a few other things that can happen in this ending section. This whole ending section is just really strange. And you're going really fast. There's a lot of weird geometry. Let's take a look at some mistakes that happen, and then some other usual things or some safe strategies you can do. It's all about this ending section. Go really fast. Yeah, see? If you hit that little rock, let's watch that one more time. This time I didn't really thread the needle and went a little too far to the left, hit the rock, and that is just not what you want to happen. So that's the thing that can happen. You want to be careful about that. Let's see what else can happen. So that was a good landing. I decided not to grind on the wall because you can just go on the road if you want to. If you do that, you're not going to be able to land on the downhill slope of this dip in the road. So what happens is you end up just kind of landing awkwardly on the next part. And so this time I landed with a speed of 150. That's not ideal, but it's not too bad either. You can still finish the lap. It's just a little slower. It's just a little slower. And I got a lap of 42. Good landing. Not gonna grind on the wall. See, I did pretty much the same thing as I did last time, but this time I landed with a speed of 170. So sometimes you really just never know what's gonna happen on this ending part. Sometimes you'll land really slow. Sometimes you'll get a decent landing. It's whatever the game wants you to have. There's some other things that can happen here too. Good landing. This time I'm going to be bold. I'm going to try to do a good downhill slope and a good speed through here. But somehow I just hit. Let's take a look at that. You're going so fast that it's hard to really tell what's going on. I kind of just hit this geometry somehow in a weird way and angled the bike. And so that's a thing that can happen too. Oh yeah, so check this out. Here's that rock again. You can end up scraping it, and that time I landed with a speed of 220, which isn't the worst, but isn't the best either. So, yeah, there's just a lot of weird things that can happen. You just want to be careful through there. You want to practice this part a lot. Let's watch this. Good landing. Good speed. Got off of the road in time, off the wall in time, I mean. You kind of just scrape the wall at a good angle. And then you land without veering to the right too much. And then if you can do that, you can land at a good speed of about 200. And so that's the good landing. And then you dip down. You catch some air and dip down again. And that's how you want to finish the lap. Isn't that crazy? That's the weird, crazy things that can happen in this race. But you'll get it. You get it. You'll get times of about 206, 205, and you'll be good to go. Good to go for the next one.